Good day, today we will discuss Week 2, Introduction to Object-Oriented in Visual Basic, wherein I introduce to you what's with Visual Basic.net and some of its function. Here is our learning outcomes. At the end of the session, the students should be able to explain object-oriented programming in Visual Basic.net, demonstrate classes and objects in Visual Basic.net, define inheritance and interfaces in Visual Basic.net, demonstrate how to use classes in Visual Basic.net. I hope we could learn from this lesson. So what is object-oriented programming?
Visual Basic provides full support for object-oriented programming including encapsulation, inheritance, and polymorphism. Encapsulation. Encapsulation means that a group of related properties, methods, and other members are treated as a single unit or object.
Inheritance. Inheritance is the process by which objects can acquire the properties of objects of other class. In OOP, inheritance provides reusability, like adding additional features to an existing class without modifying it. This is achieved by deriving a new class from the existing one. The new class will have combined features of both the classes. Polymorphism. Polymorphism means the ability to take more than one form. An operation may exhibit different behaviors in different instances. The behavior depends on the data types used in the operation. Polymorphism is extensively used in implementing inheritance. Visual Basic.net is object-oriented. Everything we do in Visual Basic involves objects in some way or other, and everything is based on the object class. Controls, forms, modules, etc. are all types of classes. Visual Basic.net comes with thousands of built-in classes which are ready to be used. Let's take a closer look at object-oriented programming in Visual Basic. We will see how we can create classes, objects, how to inherit one class from other, what is polymorphism, how to implement interfaces, and so on.
Classes and objects.
Classes are types and objects are instances of the class. Classes and objects are very much related to each other. Without objects you can't use a class. In Visual Basic we create a class with the class statement and end it with end class.
The terms class and object are sometimes used interchangeably, but in fact, classes describe the type of objects, while objects are usable instances of classes. So, the act of creating an object is called instantiation. Using the blueprint analogy, a class is a blueprint, and an object is a building made from that blueprint.
The syntax for a class looks as follows. Public class test. Variables. Methods. Properties. Events. End class.
Visual Basic also provides a light version of classes, called structures, that are useful when you need to create large array of objects and do not want to consume too much memory for that. Interfaces.
Interfaces allow us to create definitions for component interaction. They also provide another way of implementing polymorphism. Through interfaces, we specify methods that a component must implement without actually specifying how the method is implemented. We just specify the methods in an interface and leave it to the class to implement those methods. Visual Basic.net does not support multiple inheritance directly, but using interfaces we can achieve multiple inheritance. We use the interface keyword to create an interface and implements keyword to implement the interface. Once you create an interface you need to implement all the methods specified in that interface.
Interfaces, like classes, define a set of properties, methods, and events. But unlike classes, interfaces do not provide implementation. They are implemented by classes, and defined as separate entities from classes. An interface represents a contract, in that a class that implements an interface must implement every aspect of that interface exactly as it is defined.
Here's an example of how to define an interface. And also, an example of how to implement an interface in a class. Thank you so much, class. I hope you learn a lot from this lesson. You may link to the other materials in our classroom for more info.